The great cycle of life. Young seeker, you wish to understand the most profound truth of all the great cycle of life. You seek to know how the forces of yin and yang shape the dance of birth and death, and how from these eternal transformations spring renewal, not only in the world, but in the very heart of every living being. Let me take you on a journey, one that spans the arc of existence itself. You may think of birth and death as opposites, but that is only a half-truth. They are not opposites. They are the same thing, flowing into each other, like the day giving birth to the night, and the night giving way to the dawn. Birth is the beginning of life, but death, too, is a kind of birth, the birth of something new, something unknown. The Tao, the way of all things, teaches that yin and yang are fixed entities. They are dynamic forces, ever-changing, flowing in and out of each other. The interplay of yin and yang in the great cycle of life mirrors the larger rhythms of the universe, the rhythm of the seasons, the movement of the stars, and the very pulse of your heart, the dance of birth and death. Let us begin, then, with the most sacred of all transformations, the cycle of birth and death. 1. Birth, the emergence of yang. Consider the moment of birth. It is an act of great yang energy, active, forceful, expansive. The infant, fresh from the womb, is a small, living sun, shining with the bright energy of new life. Everything in that moment is full of possibility, full of movement, full of action. The cry of the newborn is the cry of yang itself, assertive, vibrant, and alive. But yang does not come from nowhere. It is born from yin. The womb, dark and quiet, is the space of yin, receptive, nourishing, waiting. Just as the seed in the soil is nourished by the earth, which is yin, so too does the unborn child grow in the nurturing silence of the mother's body. Yin is the vessel that holds the potential for yang to emerge. Without yin, there can be no yang. And so, in the quiet darkness, yang stirs, ready to make its appearance, bursting forth into the world. This moment of birth is a profound transformation, for the moment the child enters the light of day, it is no longer a part of the womb, it is its own self, a new form of yang energy. 2. Death, the return to yin. And yet, as the days pass, yang begins to fade. The child grows, and the years of life stretch ahead. But no matter how bright, no matter how vibrant, the yang energy will eventually transform, as all things must. It is in the nature of the universe that everything born of yang does eventually return to yin. The moment of death is the most profound return to yin, the quiet, the stillness, the space. Death is not the end, but rather the return to that which sustains all things, the return to the soil, to the earth, to the great yin of the universe. In death, yang surrenders its force. The body slows, the breath ceases, and the energy of life is no longer actively moving outward. But death is not annihilation, it is transformation. The body returns to the earth, where it will become part of the soil, nourishing the next generation of life. The yang that once was, is now absorbed into yin, waiting in the silence for the cycle to begin again. 3. The eternal flow. Yin becomes yang, and yang returns to yin. Thus, birth and death are not separate events, but part of a single, continuous cycle. From the stillness of yin, life emerges as yang, and from the brightness of yang, life returns to the embrace of yin. This constant dance is the very nature of existence itself, the great flow of life that pulses through the universe. When we look to nature, we see this cycle everywhere. The seasons themselves reflect this eternal rhythm. Spring, the season of birth, is a time of expansion, of new life and new beginnings. Summer is the full expression of yang, where life is at its brightest and most active. Autumn, with its fading light, is the beginning of the return to yin, and winter is the quiet stillness, the deep yin energy that holds the promise of renewal. So, too, in the cosmos, birth and death are everywhere. Stars are born from the swirling gases of nebulae, shining with the full brilliance of yang. And yet, after eons of burning brightly, even stars must return to yin. They collapse, they die, and in their death, they give birth to new stars, new worlds, new possibilities. humanity's role in the cycle of life. You, my young friend, are part of this eternal cycle. The cycles of birth and death shape your life, just as they shape the lives of all things. Your young energy rises in youth, full of vitality and strength. But as time passes, you will feel the pull of yin, that quiet, receptive energy. Many humans fear death, seeing it as an end. But the Tao teaches that death is merely a transformation. It is the return to yin, from which all things spring. It is the space of renewal. It is not to be feared, but embraced, for it is in death that life finds its true meaning. In your own life, my dear one, I ask you to consider this. How does the cycle of yin and yang play out within you? How do you move between the active and the passive, the expansive and the receptive, the birth and the death? These are not separate parts of you, they are two sides of the same coin, to energies in constant dance. Renewal. The cycle continues. One of the most profound lessons of this great cycle, that after death comes renewal. Just as the soil receives the nutrients of the decomposed body and gives birth to new life, so too does the universe offer you, the human being, an opportunity for renewal. Every moment of death in your life, be it the death of an old habit, an old belief, or even an old version of yourself, paves the way for a new birth. This is the nature of yin and yang. Perhaps, young one, you have faced sorrow or loss, as all humans do. Perhaps you have faced the death of a dream, or the end of a relationship. Know this, these moments of yin, though painful, hold the seed of yang, a new beginning, a new transformation. Every loss carries within it the seed of renewal. Every death is the soil from which new life springs. In the same way that the night is followed by the dawn, so too does the yang of your life return again and again, following the quiet embrace of yin. The wisdom of the cycle, the greatest wisdom I can share with you, my dear one, is this: life, in all its forms, is an endless cycle of birth and death, of yang and yin. Neither is more important than the other, and both are necessary for life to continue. The birth of the new must come from the death of the old, and in the moment of death, there is the possibility of rebirth. The Tao teaches us that in this cycle, we must learn not to cling to either side. Do not hold on to the yang of life with fear, for it will one day fade. And do not resist the pull of yin, for it holds the promise of renewal. Embrace the cycle, and you will see that there is no end, only transformation, only the eternal dance of life.